In today's assignment, we are going to talk about the latest addition to the Unity3D Fuse plugin, the color replacement shader. In order for us to use the color replacement shader, we need to have a sequence which has a very distinctive color in it that is not reappearing, so that we can create a mask and change the material attributes of our sequence inside of that mask. For example, in this scene, our basketball player on the right has a t-shirt with a very distinctive dark blue color that does not reappear in our scene. And our basketball player on the left has a very distinctive t-shirt with a bright hot pink color that only has reappearances down here on our shoes. Let us choose the basketball player on the left to demonstrate the power of our 4D Fuse color replacement shaders. Let us select the sequence and let us assign a new shader. We'll first go over the metallic setup for the color replacement shader. So let's select the metallic color replacement. To use the color replacement shader, we first have to set up an input color that will decide on our mask. I've already figured out the most appropriate input color for the t-shirt on the woman on the left. In order to see the effect of our color replacement shader, we first have to assign a range on how much we can go below or above the input color on our mask. Let me set the range to 0.3. As you can see, upon setting the range, our shader has already replaced our input color with the replacement color, which is on the moment a pitch black. For this demo, I'm going to replace the t-shirt color with, let's say, green. So let us select the replacement color and make it into a greenish tone. In addition to making it green, I also want to make it a little bit metallic, just to have a little bit of a reflective and cooler look. So first select our metallic value and put it to 0.7. As you can see, our t-shirt has only become much darker than before. In order to see the reflection, let us assign a smoothness value of 1.2. Now we can see the skybox reflecting off our t-shirt. We can also assign an emissive color to our sequence. So let us go to Emission Color and let's decide on a yellow tone. Our sequence will now glow in the dark and illuminate other objects, but baked only. If we now deactivate our directional light and delete the skybox from our scene, you can now see that our skirt is glowing in the dark. And you can also see that the pink spots on our shoes are also getting replaced the same way that our shirt is. Since most of the time the emissive color has a tendency to be so strong that it overrides our replacement color, we have integrated a Fresnel power slider which allows us to add a Fresnel effect onto our emissive color. For example, if I set the Fresnel power to 1, you can now see our green t-shirt that we have created earlier clearly through the emission color, while the emission color looks more like a glowing effect from our sequence. Now that we've talked about the metallic setup, let us also talk about the specular setup. While most of the material attributes such as emission, Fresnel and the replacement color stay the same between both shaders, the specular setup allows us to change the specular reflection on our sequences. For example, let us first change our range to 0.3 and set the replacement color to be blue. Now I only want to have a specular reflection color of blue instead of white. Let us first set our smoothness to 1.4, 2, set the specular intensity to 0.7, and then change the specular reflection color to blue. As you can now see, we only have a blue reflection instead of a full-on white reflection. The 4D Fuse color replacement shaders are also compatible with VR and AR applications. You can, for example, now sideload this project onto a VR device and see the final results.